Klonoa Heroes, the legendary star medal, the one Klonoa game I've yet to really talk about much in depth. Even Moonlight Museum, I played for like half of it for my last Klonoa video, wink wink. This game I was only playing for a little bit at the time, so it's about time it gets the justice it deserves, damn it! Except I want to talk about a more interesting part about this game, specifically how in-depth its mechanics are. Because it may look like a basic little RPG at a first glance. It's actually way more than that, and it's why it's my favorite Klonoa game, outside of the writing anyway. It's pretty funny. But for this video, that won't be too important. I wanted to be a little different today. And also, I have enough footage as is. Holy shit, man! My Game Boy Advance is crashing once again. Except it's not, because if you speak English, there's no way in hell you actually own this game. For this video, I will be playing the lovely fan translation for the game made by a bunch of wonderful folks in the community. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Why the hell are you guys swearing? That's my thing. Mario. So, Klonoa Heroes is easily the most unique game in the series. We all know that Klonoa is usually about jumping around, using the power of the wind to pick up enemies and use them to your liking. Or beach volleyball. What the fuck? But in this game, instead of platforming with a ring, you run around a top-down environment, dungeon crawling and killing enemies, with a variety of weapons and techniques, if you can even call it that. A switch up like this is nice though, as the main Klonoa games did have a more rich story than a typical platformer. The endings of the first two games were enough to make a grown man cry. You get the idea. An RPG for this series just makes sense. And that's exactly what this game sets out to do. As there's numbers, and more numbers! Dictating HP, special meter, and, well, EXP, duh. That's kind of in every fucking RPG. Each time Klonoa and the gang levels up, you get one new attribute point to put into 4 different stats. The max depends on what type of equipment you're currently using. You get EXP from collecting these little dreamstone things once you kill an enemy. I think that's pretty stupid though. Like, just give me the XP, like, give me it! There's also like gold and shit, but if you couldn't tell from my gameplay footage, I kinda use cheat codes to max out my gold. Look, I played the game already, give me a break. I even used my completed save for some of my footage. But now that we know the basics, I think it's time to dive a little deeper. Because we already got some good stuff. It's a solid gameplay loop from going door to door, collecting treasures, and killing everything in your path till the end. You'll have the windmill song stuck inside your head, but I promise, it's worth it in the end. So the main action of this game seems simple at the surface. When you have 3 characters that work differently from each other with their own moves and everything, you start to see the bigger picture here. What the fuck? And that Klonoa is actually cooking in between suffering through his main journeys and playing volleyball. So we got the 3 main protagonists, being Klonoa himself, the wolf bounty hunter, Guts, as well as the pyrotechnic, who's also a family man, Pango. He's a pangolin, by the way. I only know what that animal is because of South Park. You can swap between each character on the fly depending on where you are in the story. So luckily, you will almost always be able to deal with any situation because of that. Anyways, you attack with the A button. Yeah, fucking $1 million concept, I know. But do you want to know what's even crazier than attacking with the A button? Gonna stop looking at me like that. Attacking with the B button too! Oh my god, you guys, Klonoa Heroes has it all! But in all seriousness, you have a red attack and a blue attack. Whichever attack you use actually depends on the enemy's color of health. I'm like 95% sure that this is in the game so players can like not mindlessly spam the attack button. But I actually do like this. It would have been cooler if there was a different animation for each color of attack instead of just changing the effect, but that's just me being a bitch, honestly. There's even enemies with yellow health bars that you can only do damage to using your character's special attacks. The yellow meter down there is what actually dictates if you can do that or not. So red attacks, blue attacks, and the special yellow attacks. Those are the main methods of defeating enemies. And of course, there's the stats that you put your attribute points in. Now, For the main save file that I played for this video, I put everything into my attack power, while the defensive stats were more secondary to me. I just had a more glass cannon thing going, as I think it's the most optimal way to play this game. You want to get everything out of your way as soon as possible, after all. Especially since the bosses here can take a while if you aren't prepared. Besides, taking less damage? Where's the fun in that?
Okay.
I mean, when an enemy does a critical hit on me and I'm at 1 HP, that's the best feeling in the fucking world.
Loser!
It's even better when this little shit is what killed me. It's called a giant moo. Moo Meadow. Wait a second. Why do I keep putting points to the agility stat? Am I a big fat liar? Well, my friends, I know you didn't ask, but that's because agility allows you to not only dodge attacks more often, but it allows you to deal more critical hits and miss your attacks less. The defense stat is fucking useless in comparison. Always level up your agility. I can kinda say that in other RPGs too, actually. This game also has the classic feature of surviving with 1 HP left after you get hit with a devastating attack at around full health. But considering you can get comboed in this game, it's surprisingly not that helpful of a mechanic. Now what's actually helpful is the character's reactions and the HUD elements. Aside from just being cute little additions, looking at them is a good way to tell if you're being inflicted with a status ailment, such as being poisoned, confused, or cursed. Being poisoned does what you expect. Being cursed actually lowers your attack power, and being confused makes it to where you can't do your special attacks. So get rid of that shit. There's ramen and juice for a reason, you know. Okay, this game's really writing home the fact that you're a Japanese-only experience. I mean, fucking ramen. Come on. What's next? A rice ball? It's jelly donut. I guess the last thing to talk about in this section is the accessories. I only really use the attack increase ones. I play boring, but damn it, it is effective. Oh yeah, there's also a hero medal next to your character that ranks up with story progression. The game is subtitled the Legendary Star Medal after all. Your medal doesn't do shit though. All right, this is the fun part, baby. I got a tier list out on everything. There's 15 weapon types across the 3 heroes, so it's time for me to bitch and glaze about them in the relative order that they appear in. But before I do, it's worth mentioning that each weapon has stronger versions that you get more and more throughout the game. So when it comes to this, it's not actually about the numbers, but it's mostly about how resourceful each weapon is. The Wind Ring is the most dog shit thing I've ever seen in my entire life. In literally every other Klonoa game, it inflates enemies to pick up, allowing Klonoa to throw them or use them as an extra jump. But in this game, it's a basic bitch mid-range projectile. I understand that doesn't really work for this kind of game, but I mean, what we got was trash! It's trash! Go with F tier! Out with you go! I mostly want to speed along with these rankings because there isn't that much to say. That's why this is all one video. But what you see is what you get, relatively. And what we got here next is going from the worst weapon in the game to the best weapon in the game, the Wind Blade. Now, every weapon has a basic attack and an alternate attack for when you double press the button, and the blade has the best alternate attack as you just spin around sliding. It covers a lot of distance as well as having an active hitbox the entire time. This weapon has the highest DPS in the entire game, and you get it like only in a few levels in. Bruh. Why? It makes the Wind Ring like borderline obsolete before you even leave home. It's S tier. Now, Guns, I mean, this is a sexy guy. I mean, look at this character design. It's just peak. Guns is the type of guy that, you know, all the girls are trying.
Why are you gay?
It doesn't help that none of his weapons are bad. Kind of. His dual guns are really solid, though. Even if basic, all you gotta do is strafe and shoot people up. That's about it. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Hell no.
B tier, bitch. You know, I used to think Klonoa's hammer was also trash, but it's really not. It goes through shields, it keeps enemies still, and its alternate attack is also really good. Surprisingly high DPS. And because of that, you can go into B tier because you're still slow as shit. This is the one kind of trash weapon that Guns has. It's like the hammer, but it only really has one form of attacking, and that is just slow.
Yeah.
Being slow really isn't good in this game, trust me. But because it's a Guns weapon, it can go slightly above that. God damn it, for as much as I love Pango, all of his weapons are almost the exact goddamn same. So I'm gonna talk about all of them here. We got bomb, big bomb, tiny bomb, and grenade.
This is not a banger.
The only thing that changes with them is how many you throw at once and how long it takes for them to all blow up once they land. So, you can go here, you can go there, you can go here, and all the little bombs are actually pretty good. Go in A tier. I think this is supposed to be an umbrella. It's a very unique weapon for sure. It's mostly used for guarding and absorbing projectiles to fill up your special meter. You can still use it to attack enemies, but you have to be a little too close for that. Otherwise, it isn't that hard to build up your special meter normally. So this weapon is mid as fuck. As much as I love it, get down there.
So say good morning!
The missile pod is that kind of weapon that is mid, but mostly because it's hard to use. So that's actually a skill issue. If you want to use the most out of this weapon, you need to make sure your missiles are actually hitting the targets when they spread out. Still not a bad choice though. Yeah, what the fuck am I looking at exactly?
Mario is fucking balling!
Another S tier weapon, baby. It's the wind ring, but actually good. It hits multiple times, it can hit enemies multiple times, and if you choose it... Did I just say the same thing twice? That might honestly still go in the script.
I'm kind of retarded.
It can hit multiple enemies if you choose for it to. The only negative is... I don't even really know what to call this weapon. The first one you get is called the Crash Ball, so I guess that. Either way, Klonoa is now Mega Man.
Wait a minute.
You son of a bitch! You piece of shit!
Another S tier weapon, baby. The flamethrower is probably Guns' shortest range weapon, but it makes up for that in being amazing when it comes to the DPS. It's just a shame that you get it very late in the game when you're already in fucking space, because this is easily A tier. If it had more utility, it would be an S tier for sure.
Only on Boomerang.
Who knew giving Klonoa a boomerang was surprisingly a great idea? It fits his whole character very well, and in this game, it's one of the last weapons you get. It's another very solid A tier choice that can hit enemies from practically anywhere, as well as get them off of you. Alright, here's our last weapon, and the second S tier. Guns' laser weapon. It's fucking cracked. If the Windblade wasn't as speedy as it is, this would be the best weapon. It can go through anything, hit enemies multiple times, and builds up a lot of meter. Unfortunately, I don't have this move yet in Namco X Capcom, but I'm almost positive it's in the game. Yes, I'm playing Namco X Capcom. Well, that's all the weapons in Klonoa Heroes ranked. I bet you weren't expecting 2 kinds of videos in one, huh?
That's what I came here to.
If you played this game yourself, you probably already knew that some of these weapons sucked, and some of them were actually great. Since my opinion is fact, this is, in fact, de facto,
Did I have a stroke?
the perfect list ever. But allow me to move on. Since I just love talking about random shit, I would love to keep yapping about a few more neat things Klonoa Heroes has before we end things off here. Such as all the profanity, man. Like, Gun says the fuck word a couple times, and I'm pretty sure that's like a no-no here in the West. Whoa, dude. I recorded all the story cutscenes just to show shit like that.
Really, Nick?
40 gigabytes, ladies and gentlemen. I would really like people to go experience the story in context for themselves. I promise, it's really charming. Did you notice that words show up in the gameplay depending on what just happened? If you get a critical hit, the words BAM show up when you attack. And if you got hit by a critical attack, the words kick show up. It's just an extra layer of attention to detail that I find really fun. And they already have the character portraits reacting and saying stuff. The writing is charming, so is the gameplay. While I do find some things about this game really annoying, like how they draw out the later levels and get this fucking diving suit. I can't believe I forgot to bring this shit up. This suit controls like shit, and the game makes you use it multiple times. It doesn't help that the suit originates from Klonoa 2 Dream Champ Tournament, and I already don't like that game. No! So, wow, right? But at least it sucks up the EXP. I digress, though. Klonoa Heroes is the game of all time, absolute cinema. I feel like I used this joke already. But hey, the title of this video really was not lying. I didn't even review the entire game, and I wrote over 2,000 words. That's more than the Chicken Little script! Anyways, like I said before, Klonoa Heroes of the Legendary Star Medal is an easy to understand, hard to master dungeon crawler RPG that allows you to get your ass kicked and get back up, trying new strategies and characters to suit your playstyle. That's why when you get KO'd, you only lose money, not actual progress. That's still kind of annoying, but you know what I mean. And I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but despite how different it really is my favorite Klonoa game, even more so than Lunatea's Vel. There's just too much about this game that makes me smile. And the main theme is a banger. Everybody listen to Sign of Heroes. Shit makes you fucking... It makes you bang my daughter. I know a lot of the other tracks in the game are kind of mid, but that's besides the point.
Put your penis in the booty.
Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series came out 3 years ago at this point, and I still haven't seen any new Klonoa news since then. God help us all, and remake the game or something! If you think I'm talking about Klonoa Wii next, you're fucking crazy.